What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Week 6 Browns Recap, or Episode 6 Browns Recap.
Both.
Before we start, Browns fans, take a second. Have a drink. That's that Grey Goose, baby. Okay. I'm going to start with a fun fact. Did you know? Today marks the worst start for the Cleveland Browns since the 0-16 season.
Doesn't surprise me, I'll tell you that. It does not surprise me if you watched last episode. We referenced the 0-16 Browns, so it does not surprise me.
I want to start with a question.
Hit me.
Kevin Stefanski had a post-game conference, and the first question they asked, Kevin, is there going to be a quarterback change? Kevin Stefanski said, no. Deshaun is our quarterback. We're sticking with Deshaun. Team needs to play better. I need to coach better. Do you think he is just blowing smoke, or is he in the back of his mind like, yeah, the quarterback change is coming?
If you're Stefanski, you kind of feel like you're one of the people that pushed for the Deshaun trade because you had a quarterback in Cleveland that was capable of winning. And
that you pushed out.
That you kind of pushed out. So, in that, he's kind of stuck with this quarterback that he said, yeah, let's get rid of the one we have now that won our first playoff game in 20 plus years. And let's get this guy that hasn't played in a couple of years and has these allegations around him. Sure. It's a big risk, right? And he did that. So I think he's forced, for the most part, to stick with him.
Stick with it.
I think if you do make a change, you do put in Jameis. I said this 2 episodes back, I think. It's not going to change the offense of what it is. There's already too many problems within the offense that the quarterback is not going to change that offense.
So I disagree slightly, but I'm going to let you finish before I go into why I disagree. But
so the biggest thing,
you're right though. Right though.
The biggest thing is the offensive line, and for the most part, the troubles that we have with the offensive line is the rush from the interior. And no, this guy wasn't an interior lineman, but it looks like we need this motherfucker back. All right,
bad.
We need this dude back.
We need both Joes back.
Yeah. But dude, the offensive line has been terrible. I think if you do put in that quarterback, I think Deshaun's been sacked 26 times in 5 games. That's more than 5 times per game you're getting sacked, not including all the pressures that he, either throws it away or whatever happens after that.
Right.
But he's definitely the most pressured quarterback in the NFL, and I think putting in Jameis, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. I think he'll definitely take more shots because fuck it, he has nothing to lose. But I still don't think that it's going to change the trajectory of what the Browns season is going to be.
Understandable. So I agree with everything you just said. And I do think you are partially right. There's one major thing. Sorry, I just shook my laptop. There's one major thing that I think we need to kind of understand as Browns fans. And today was really the day I seen it. You notice the body language of the team. The morale is down. I think we are starting to see the team officially become tired of Deshaun. I saw Amari Cooper's body language. I saw David Njoku's body language. I seen who else was it? Jordan Aiken's body language. It's not good. You could see dudes where there's bad balls thrown. Like I saw one where Amari Cooper was open. Deshaun just missed him. Threw it too far past him on that little post route. And Amari Cooper's body language, you could just see that he was just like he was tired of it. Like, and there's only so much. Like, they know they're on TV.
Oh yeah.
You have to let it out at some point. And I think we are starting to see the team officially give up on Deshaun. At this point, there's no more excuses. He's been healthy. I'm surprised he hasn't been injured yet. I mean, my dude's getting hit.
And he lowered his shoulder too, going to the sideline. I'm surprised his shoulder stayed intact.
And like once again, I've asked this numerous times, and I don't even want to keep going, but like every time he throws the ball, his mechanics aren't the same. That shoulder injury, it messed up his entire throwing motion. He throws like overhand now rather than like before how he used to throw differently. Like if you go watch Texans Deshaun throw a ball, like I would love to be able to do a side-by-side video of him throwing the ball. It's not the same.
If I can find it, I'll put it up for you right now.
I watched it today for my own sanity. His throwing motion's not the same. His shoulder it's done. That shoulder injury, I don't even want to blame it on that. But at this point, I wore my brown shirt today.
Yeah, why?
Because you know what? I don't know why. I'm like, this team doesn't deserve to have me wear their shirt. They look piss poor and stuff like that. And for a second, I realized this is us. Even though we haven't been this bad since 2017, this is us.
I mean, you're right.
This is normal. This is par for the course, as people would say. And at the end of the day, we won some games. We had some winning seasons. You know, we were standing behind Kevin. You know, I'm trying not to mention Joe Flacco or Baker, but we had some hope. But guess what? We're back, baby. 2016. This is us. We're here. We are back. The Browns is the Browns. If I had a paper bag big enough, I was going to put it over my head. But I only have the real small one for my son's lunches, so I couldn't put it over my head. I tried.
Cut them both a little bit. Yeah,
I did. So enough of me just yapping about us. I have my opinion already. I'll pose a question to you. Is it time to pack it in on the season? If you're Kevin Stefanski, you're looking at what we have left. You're looking at what we're capable of. You're looking at the schedule. Are you like, okay, we're worse than this team? This team right now, you can't convince me we're not the worst team in the league. So at this point,
us and the Jags. Did the Jags win?
No.
So the Jags have the worst record. If they would have won, we would have been tied for the worst record.
Wait, I might have to check that.
I'll look it up right now as you're talking.
But at this point, you got your first round pick back. Are you looking at Quinn Ewers like, yeah, they won?
Yeah, 37-34 against the Colts. What a fucking crazy game that was probably.
Yep, it was a crazy game. I was watching highlights of it. So, by the way, Joe Flacco threw for 350 and 3 touchdowns. No big deal, though.
359, 3 touchdowns, yeah. Only missed 11 passes. He was 33 for 34 or 44.
He was 7 for 7 on the first drive for like 72 yards.
Inside note: Alec Pierce had 3 catches for 134 yards and a touchdown. We dropped him. We dropped him. But he's going to play him. No, well, it was him or Jerry Jeudy, and we see how much Jerry Jeudy got the ball today. So
yeah, I know. So are you packing it in on the season?
We talked about this a little bit when I mentioned the Myles Garrett foot injury, like both his feet and the lower leg issues that he was having. He said he was going to fight through it, basically. I mean, we play the Eagles next week. It's not like it's a cakewalk and like a convincing, we can win that.
I mean, they're not that good, but I'm not going to be delusional.
No, they're not the Eagles of the past, in my opinion, but they're definitely better. They're definitely better than the teams that we have lost to this year. So, with that being said, I think you do kind of pack it in if you do lose next week. So I just clipped this up because I just died on camera, so I cut it so none of you guys saw that. Basically, throat got dry and I started coughing. Basically, what I was saying is that Myles Garrett, we lose next week, go get your surgery on your feet, do whatever, get healthy. Nick Chubb, let's not even rush you back, because guess what? You being in the game, if you're not 100%, there is no reason for you to get out there, especially a 1-5 Cleveland Browns team. That is my reasoning. If we do lose next week, we should pack it up.
So I have 2 thoughts, and they go together. I think it is time to pack it in on the season. We're 1-4. We talked about it last week. you are not getting in the AFC playoffs with more than 7 losses. 9-8, I just don't see it getting you in. I think you need to be 10-7 minimum. There's just no way we rattle off, 9 games and win. So tank. It's time to tank for Quinn. Whether you're one of those guys that want Quinn Ewers, Shador, Cam Ward, whoever
Quinn?
you want. What'd you say? No,
Dan
Quinn.
Dan Quinn?
Dan Quinn put his foot in our asses today.
He did.
Okay. But I think it is time to pack it in on the season. Tank. Don't even put Jameis in. I agree. Keep Deshaun in. At this point, the season's lost. If you just decided to get rid of Deshaun, do you know what his dead money is right now?
$5 million. Oh, you mean dead money that we're going to eat?
Let's just say we were like, you know what? We messed up, cut our losses, get him out of here. Do you know what it would be?
180. I don't know.
You're right there. 172, if you want to be exact. So, $172 million we're losing. At this point, you got to play him. Finish out the season. Why put Jameis in? What are you boosting the morale for? Jameis is not the quarterback that's going to come in and win all those games. Let's be real.
I say trade him and get a even if it's a 7th round pick, trade him because he ain't going to be here next year. He's on a 1-year contract.
Who you talking about, Jameis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, don't even put Jameis in.
Trade him.
Deshaun in.
Trade
Get your money's worth. DTR. Cool. Have DTR as the backup. Hey, we like DTR. Not a bad guy.
Cool kid.
Right. I like him. Skinny, but he's not bad.
Don't want him to be my starter, but yeah.
No. So you tank the season. Get you a nice top 5 draft pick. You land Quinn. You land Shador. You let Deshaun finish out his contract win last year. Because at this point, we're trying to avoid a complete and total rebuild. You don't want that. But you're looking at Denzel Ward's a year older. Myles Garrett's a year older. Nick Chubb's a year older. Greg Newsome is going to need paid. Because we didn't pay Greg Newsome yet, right?
I believe not. I can double check. But
Martin Emerson's going to need paid. A couple of the defensive linemen we only put on 1 year just to try to run it back. So with all the money we owe Deshaun, we're very limited. You're going to have to rely on a draft. Hopefully you get some JOKs. Hopefully you get some Martin Emersons. Hopefully you get some Greg Newsomes. But other than that, you're tanking the season. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, his contract ends in 2025. Greg Newsome.
I mean, you're looking at, is it time to let Greg Newsome walk? And some part of me is like, let him walk, but at this point, you're going to be patching together young players that you're hoping you can develop that got cut from other teams, or older players that you can bring in for low contracts. But at this point, bro, the season's gone. Finish out with Deshaun.
Yeah, even with Martin Emerson, dude, like our offense has been so bad that like our defense is not getting enough scrutiny either.
Because they haven't been very good either.
Our defense has not been good at all. And
nope.
I know Jaden Daniels is playing good this year, but he's a rookie quarterback. We should be playing better against rookie quarterbacks, especially with Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator.
Did you see his record against rookie quarterbacks?
No, I didn't. Was it good?
I can't remember. It was like 18-4 maybe, or 18-6. Like he's been dominant against rookie quarterbacks.
And you posed a question to me. I'm going to pose a question to you because I am losing my voice. So this episode, it's mainly going to be a Dontea rant. I'm going to chime in every now and then as I can, getting over a little bit of a sickness. So Andrew Berry coming in to the Browns, he was like the god of when it comes to GMs, right? Like he knows everything. He can do everything. Do you think he is on the hot seat? Or should he be on the hot seat?
So listen, this is very tough because this is one of those gambles. You took a chance, and if it works, Andrew Berry looks like the greatest GM to ever live. If it doesn't work, Andrew Berry looks how he looks now. Is he on the hot seat? Did he mess up? Now, Andrew Berry is probably 75% responsible for building our Super Bowl caliber roster. Don't kill me for this one, fans. I'm doing a lot of air quotes here. Our playoff roster, okay? And I thought about this earlier today. It's funny you asked me that. Is his Deshaun Watson signing worse, or does it erase all of the good moves he made? Drafting Martin Emerson, drafting JOK, drafting all these good players, getting all these free agent signings. Is this Deshaun Watson signing worse, and does it just wipe out everything he did? Yeah. The answer is yeah.
You think so?
Because you put yourself 4 steps forward with everything you did. We are now 8 steps backwards. It makes Kevin Stefanski's judgment look bad, because now when the team is so bad, you question the coach. Everybody's like, Kevin's offense is garbage, this, that, and the other. And it is.
It is.
But the thing is, everybody's like, Flacco had his offense doing this, they had it doing that. You can't do that with Deshaun. He can't throw. He can't read defenses. He's missing open receivers. He throws ducks. He throws like me, and I'm a barber that doesn't make $230 million a year.
Sadly.
So I think, unfortunately,
you're like
Kevin
halfway
Stefanski.
All right, go on. I'm sorry.
I drink to that, brother.
Hell yeah.
I think Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are both on the hot seat. I do. And I know that's crazy to think, because Kevin Stefanski was coach of the year. Jim Schwartz was assistant of the year. Andrew Berry looks like a genius. We pieced it together with 5 different quarterbacks. But this dumpster fire, this is reminiscent of our 0-16 season. It's reminiscent of it. We look just as bad.
But with
And
more expectations this year.
Exactly. I mean, you made it to the playoffs last year, and people are like, oh, okay, Joe Flacco played a bad game. But, like, I won now. So, yeah, I do think they're on a hot seat. And listen, remember, a lot of people are forgetting Mike Vrabel is on this coaching staff. Whether he's a consultant, whatever he is, telling you,
hey,
he's brought in for a reason.
One of my friend's girlfriends was on a plane, and Mike Vrabel was sitting next to her on a plane ride to Tennessee. Obviously, he probably has a home there when he was coaching the Titans, so it's probably where he was going. I think it's when we were playing against the Giants, and Njoku was still hurt. And I texted him and said, hey, ask him if Njoku's ankle's still, if it's healing all right, and when do you think he'll be back? He didn't tell her to ask. I was trying to get some inside information. I wanted some sources.
Imagine if you sat next to him and you could just do an interview. Like, that would be so dope.
I would definitely have to ask. Like, I don't even know how you would be like, hey, man, so listen, I have this podcast.
That you got it just like that. Just like that. Hey, listen, man, I'm on a podcast. We're not big, but listen, I would love to interview you.
I do the audio thing on the phone. Just put it in my pocket, pretend like I'm not. I just randomly ask questions.
Listen,
without them knowing.
We'll limit it. Give me 8 minutes of your time. So I'm going to ask you 8 questions. We'll do a minute each and call it a day.
Do you think I can tackle you open field, 1-on-1?
Hell no. Next question.
Hell yeah. All right. No, but I thought that was cool. Yeah, I mean,
I think they're on a hot seat, and I think Kevin Stefanski could be looking at his replacement and Mike Vrabel. I do.
Now, I know a lot of Browns fans are like, well, listen, Stefanski, Andrew Berry, they have been the best GM and head coach that we've had in how long? Which I agree, yes. But that's compared. Yeah, I mean,
if we don't count,
I was born in '99, so I really don't know that much before me. But with that, the standard in the NFL, if these guys are anywhere else, any other team, and this is how the team's performing when they're expected to be way better than what they are, they're on the hot seat and they're probably going. Just because they're on a historic team with historically terrible coaches and GMs doesn't mean that they still deserve a spot with us.
I think our standard is lower, though, and it needs to be.
It is lower, but I don't think it should be, because I think there's 32 of these jobs in the NFL. They should be 32 of the best in the world.
But
And I don't think they are right now.
Let's be real, though. You're Kevin O'Connell, okay?
Kevin O'Connell or Kevin Stefanski?
Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings.
Okay.
You're Kevin O'Connell. No. You're Kevin O'Connell. You have a good season with the Vikings. Somehow you end up fired. Weirdly. What happened? I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
Or you're Brian Flores, and you're like, hey, I coached a defensive masterclass all season. I'm looking for a head coaching job. Is this the job you want? No.
No, it's not.
And that's why our standard needs to be lower. We have, like, if there are 10 available head coaches, let's just say head coaches, offense coordinators, defensive coordinators that are all looking for employment, probably 3 to 4 are looking at our team as an attractive destination. 30%, probably. Our standard should be low because it's like, if you save the Cleveland Browns, you look like a hero. And like, if you look at Kevin Stefanski's tenure, he's had 2 major blunders now. 2 big ones. Pushed out Baker, signed Deshaun.
Back-to-back banners, but yeah.
Exactly. I mean, he's 2 for 2 on some big ones. Okay, so Steph Curry, FU threes.
Yeah.
But with his records that he's had and his playoff win and his playoff appearance, that's more success than, oh my God, I can't even remember how far back a coach has done that. Like, I'm thinking like past Romeo Cornell, Eric Mangini, like all of those dudes. I'm trying to think who the head coach was that won a playoff game with Derrick Anderson. But outside of that, he has been the best coach that we've had, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah.
So it's like, who can you attract that will be better than him that wants to be that guy? Because this is one of those jobs that if you do well, they love you. But when you start the season 1-4, those boos are loud. Those boos are loud.
We're definitely one of those teams to where if the head coach does become available, that spot, you look back and I think a couple of the coaches that did become Browns head coaches, they weren't head coaches before. So it's one of those like, this head coach in an NFL team only comes a couple of, maybe not even a couple of times in your lifetime. Especially if you're a D coordinator, offensive coordinator, Freddie Kitchens as a running back coach, right?
Jesus Christ.
So
Freddie
whenever
he believed in Baker.
he did. He really did.
He loved Baker. Loved him.
Terrible coach. But if you do get that opportunity to where you were never head coach before, you're like, I'm going to take this chance because there's only 32 jobs of these in the NFL, and I might not get another shot.
If I'm a DC or an OC or a special teams coordinator and the Cleveland Browns job is available, I'm going to sit as another year as a DC. I'm looking at like that job might be
this year.
Next year. I don't want this job.
Coming this year because you're set up for failure again because you have Deshaun. Like you don't have enough playroom to be like, all right, let's get rid of this guy and bring in my guy. You don't have that money.
Right. I mean, you're drafting a rookie and living on his rookie contract.
And I think for the Cleveland Browns fans out there, that's going to be our next big thing we're going to wait on is who's the next quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, because I don't think it's going to be Deshaun in the next 3 years. You would think as a 28-year-old dude, 28, 29, he's not that old. But
he's not 30 yet.
No, you would think that, this should be the franchise guy when he first came in, right? Next 10 years, you could see it. You could possibly see it. The next 2 years, 3 years, in your head, you're like, he's not a Cleveland Brown anymore.
Right. I mean, Andrew Berry tried. He kept moving his contract back, pushing off the money in hopes that, okay, maybe, hopefully, to save my job, this dude will be good. And we will be able to sign people. And hopefully we can make runs with this dude. And even if he's not that good, it still didn't look like I messed up that bad. Now, it sucks because everybody and their mom, and I tried my hardest to not do it. I tried my hardest. I'm sorry, Browns fans. But you can't help but to look at what Baker's doing. Like, Baker is the ex-girlfriend that decided to start working out finally.
Damn.
After you broke up with her. And now she wears makeup, she dresses nice, and you were just looking at her like, I'm sorry. Where was that?
And she's potentially with a better dude right now, too.
Yeah, exactly. He's got muscles and he's rich.
He's better looking. He lives in nice weather. Like, dude.
And I still believe that Baker needed to get cut, get released, be benched, all of that stuff for him to become who he is. He needed mature. He needed humble. But it's like, part of you think like, did we give up too soon on him? And was that Kevin Stefanski's like dagger? Is that going to ultimately be the thing that puts him out of this job? Is the fact that he chose this situation over this situation? And we can say it now. There's no more hope. The hope is dead. This was the wrong move. It was the wrong move.
Yeah, and whenever the trade did initially happen, I was already emotionally attached to fucking Baker Mayfield because growing up, I've never had a quarterback that stayed for the Cleveland Browns longer than 2 years, I believe.
Yep.
So I think the first quarterback that I was initially like, all right, this might be the guy, was Colt McCoy when he came in. I got a jersey of Colt McCoy, and I mean, he had a long, tenured NFL career. Shout out to Colt. He was smart, great.
As a backup.
Yeah,
yep.
Good. He's a good overall player. I think the Browns did ruin him, but that's beside the point. I forget what I was going to say. When it initially happened, I said we should have kept Baker, and I felt bad for Baker because he gave all to the city, all to the Browns fan base, and just kicked aside. Sorry, buddy. We're going to pick up this guy that hasn't played in 2 years. Good luck.
Were we podcasting when we signed Deshaun?
So
we were, right?
Yeah. So that season, that offseason when it happened, we didn't record anything yet. So the beginning of that year, that's when the Jacoby was starting for us because, you know, he was suspended. So we didn't really get to talk about any of that. So
such good content that we had that we didn't get.
And I mean, I think you can go on my Twitter and find multiple tweets of me saying Baker should be a Brown still, and that I feel bad for Baker. And I mean, over time, before Deshaun even plays a game, you're gonna have to hype yourself up somewhat. Like, all right, maybe Deshaun can, you know, be a little bit of that Texans Deshaun and, you know, spice up this offense. He hasn't. So time to move on.
There are two people that are not walking through that. God damn it, Discord. Will you stop? This is not happy. There are two people that are not walking through that door to save us. One is Texans Deshaun Watson. Two,
right on that,
is Baker Mayfield.
It's always a possibility.
It is not. It's over.
It's always a possibility.
This is our reality. We're back to 2014, 15, 16. We're back. This is it. We're here. We're living in it. And I know, are your lights flashing?
Yeah.
I
don't know why.
I wasn't sure if it was my
I might have to get my light situation figured out. This looks crazy.
So, we'll put a button on this.
Yeah, you keep talking real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Fix your light situation. My opinion, it might be too early. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a prisoner of the moment. My opinion is tank the season. Go for a high draft pick. There are good quarterbacks in the draft. You have, I think Shador is a good quarterback. I know some Browns fans probably don't like him, but I think he's composed. I think he's not rattled easily. And I think he still performs on a really, really bad team, which is a reflection of what Cleveland has been a lot of times. The Colorado Buffaloes kind of reflect Cleveland if you really think about it. Bad offensive line, no run game. He's just trying to figure it out. I like him. We probably won't be able to draft Quinn Ewers. I don't see us drafting that high, but hey, we keep Deshaun in, it will win 3 games. That should be enough to hopefully outlose the Panthers. And then you have Cam Ward. We'll see. I don't know. He might pan out. He might not. But tank the season. Start Deshaun again next year. Put Cleveland through another year of misery. I'm sorry. It's not the first year where we've had 2 years of misery. And figure it out after that. Get the money off the books and start over. It's rebuild time.
So
it's rebuilt, boys.
I was listening to you when I ran and filled up my water too. You compared us to
How far was
Colorado.
that? Oh, you had it in your headphones.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
my headphones.
So
Listen,
I was talking about Shador.
Shador
and
might
I
be
think
better
you are-
than Deshaun. I
now,
heard
I
everything. I heard everything you said. So listen, I don't think we'll get Quinn like you said. I don't think we'll have that high of a draft pick. You mentioned Cam Ward. I don't really know what he's going to be like in the NFL. That's one dude that's like, you don't know how he might end up. Shador is kind of the same way a little bit, just for the fact of he's had a bad team around him, like his O-line, like us, like you said. I can see why it's similar. But do you think the cycle is going to repeat year after year until we find that next Baker Mayfield
we're back.
type of play?
We're back again. Yeah, we're back again. We are right back to Baker was drafted in 2018, right?
Yeah.
We're back in 2018. Let's rewind the time back. We're going to go 1-15. Okay. Then we're going to go 1-16. I'm just kidding.
You mean 1-16?
So, no.
You win an extra game now.
I mean, if we go 1-16, we're drafting Quinn.
Listen, we might get 2 first-round draft picks, trade for one, and draft 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
That would be our best bet at this point. Because the way we miss on quarterbacks, you might as well draft Quinn and then come back and draft Shador, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, if we don't think one's going to work out, then we just kind of trade him for another first round that a team that really liked him. Sure.
I mean, hey, random thought. I mean, you're looking at look at Minnesota. Look at the way Sam Darnold's playing. But look, think about it. Do you remember who's behind Sam Darnold and who's playing really well? JJ McCarthy. Trade for JJ. Forget it.
I mean, if Sam Darnold ends up doing what he doing throughout the whole year, he's on a 1-year deal too. You're the Vikings. If you're the Vikings, I think you fuck up in not re-signing him. I mean, JJ's.
No, I think you re-sign Sam Darnold right now, and
you kind of take a page from your division rival with the Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers thing, which
just behind him.
It's not like you took JJ to sit behind Sam. That wasn't your initial goal because Sam wasn't going to be that guy that he is right now. But as long as he keeps playing great, keep him in until that time comes to move on from him, and then you have JJ. Right. The Browns could possibly do that, but what quarterback could we get that could be that Sam Darnold for us? I don't know.
Right. And I just don't know if that dude's out there. And I also don't know if we're equipped. Like the good thing about Andrew Berry is, let's say Andrew Berry is our GM next year. Andrew Berry, he has made very good moves. Outside of Deshaun Watson, he has built this team up very well. So with the limited money that we will have, hopefully he can make some moves, weather the storm next year. Because the thing is, next year, if we do have, let's say we win 4 games and we are in the top 5 drafting and we draft Shador, Cam Ward, Quinn, Jalen Milroe, whoever.
Not Jalen.
You don't want to, we'll have to talk about that another day. But because I saw Jalen Milroe make some beautiful throws versus Georgia. But we'll talk about it.
I also seen him. I did watch it at the bar, but then, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I also seen him do some fuckity down there somewhere. But who doesn't? Okay.
Yeah,
but the thing is, if you take this season and you get one of those guys, next year you don't want to be 7-9, 8 or 7-10, 8-9. You want to be 4-13 again, because you have to get some protection, a good weapon for them, maybe trade back and have 2 picks. So this is not going to be, if we are in the rebuild phase that I think it's time for. I'm not a GM. I'm just a guy. Just a guy with a do-rag on, a Cleveland shirt, and a little bit of whiskey in my cup.
Me.
Me, another draft. Sorry. You didn't think I knew that, did you?
What? Why? Why wouldn't I think that?
Because I'm black.
Okay, we'll move on. The quarterback thing, free agency. Free agents even for next year. You got Sam Darnold, which we think most likely he's going to be re-signed. This dude's 27. Like, if you're the Vikings, bro, he can play 10 years for you if he can play at this level for some reason.
We were supposed to draft Sam Darnold anyways. Come home.
Zach Wilson would be a free agent. Trey Lance, Jacoby could come back home. Jacoby will be 32. He ain't that old, actually. He might be better than Deshaun.
Thought about retiring last year.
Taylor Heineke, Marcus Mariota, Drew Lock, Jared Stidham, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, Flacco, Winston, Carson Wentz, Mac Jones, Jimmy G, Case Keenum would still be considered one. But everyone that I see on here, no one else besides maybe a Russell Wilson. That's the only. He's probably the most accomplished quarterback that is on this list.
There ain't a quarterback on that list worth a damn.
Free agent wise, no. Unless Sam Darnold, for whatever reason, does go into free agency, you're like, maybe. Let's see what he got. That'd be the only quarterback I would think. And then, like you said, we're definitely gonna. I mean, we're projected to get a high draft pick, so most likely it's going to be quarterback incoming. And I feel bad for DTR because that dude's definitely going to get overlooked. He might get some starts, some playing time later this year, but I think we seen what he is. And I mean, his build is not very good, especially if you don't have protection like Deshaun doesn't have protection.
He was a 5th round pick anyways. I mean, most of the time you're not taking a guy in the 5th round to be the future of your franchise. That's just that you get lucky with that, like a Dak Prescott, but that doesn't happen that often. It just doesn't.
Like a Kirk. Wasn't Kirk later? Maybe Derek Carr. Probably. I don't remember.
No, Derek Carr was one pick before or one pick after Johnny Manziel. Or
so
2 picks after Johnny Manziel.
23 or 24.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was right after Johnny.
Dude, I completely forget about that.
Yeah, he was the same draft as Johnny, and he was a couple picks after.
I know in other highlight news that the Steelers game did officially start while we're recording. So,
dang, I meant to slam the under.
Currently, 8:15 left in the quarter. Dallas is up 3-0. Pittsburgh has the ball. So, hopefully Dallas wins that one. Brandon Aubrey hit a 55-yarder in this weather. I mean, we experienced it. We're in Eastern Ohio. So we experienced the weather that was happening. So it's actually pretty crazy if it was still going on when he hit that.
It's 3-3 right now.
Oh, they just scored?
The live under is 45.5, and I'm going to be honest with you.
You want to hit it?
I'm betting that. Under.
Do it. To update everyone on the AFC North battle and rankings, we got the Cleveland Browns and the Bengals at dead last, 1-4 each. Shout out to the Bengals. They almost beat the Ravens, going to OT against the Ravens. I wasn't expecting it. Jamar Chase on my fantasy team put up like 42 points. Shout out to him. I mean, I don't expect much from either of these teams the rest of this year. I eventually think that the Bengals are going to be better than us.
Yeah.
They have a better offense.
We got a better quarterback.
They have a better quarterback. I mean, you look at the offense, 140 points or points for, so there might have been some defensively, I don't remember. But 140 points to 79 of us. Basically double. I think you're going to trust them a little bit more. I know their defense just gave up more. Ravens, go ahead.
Real quick, I just got a text message that just said, how'd the Browns do today? I said,
okay.
I said, you think you can hurt me? I'm a Browns fan, baby. I'm used to sucking. No diddy. All
right. No, you're right. You're used to sucking, and I think we're used to the Browns not being great.
Yep.
Speaking about teams that aren't used to sucking normally are the Ravens. They're in second place right now. Can potentially be tied for first depending on the Steelers-Cowboys game. But I think the Ravens are turning it up a notch. They're on a 3-game win streak right now.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
They found their identity. You know what it is.
And I think eventually they'll win that North, to be honest. I think the Steelers' offense is going to get figured out by defenses eventually because it's going to be, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but I think it's going to be one-dimensional when it comes down throughout the season.
I was doing some reading. It does appear that they might land Dontea Adams.
I saw that.
It said they came out today. They said they only want a second-round pick. Steelers are going to be perfectly okay giving a second-round pick for Dontea. For the people who aren't aware, he does have 2 years, I believe $72 million left on his deal. So you do want to re-sign him, extend that contract so you can kind of move that money towards the end, even though he has no guaranteed money left on his deal. But the team to watch rather than the Steelers would be the Washington Commanders, because I think they're over-exceeding a lot of expectations. And I'm going to be honest, if they get Devontae Adams, I don't think Jaden Daniels is a fluke. I do think he is legit. And I think they are, right now, the best team in the NFC East. And if I'm them, I'm going to get Devontae too. I am. I'm trading the second round pick for him.
I mean, we witnessed it today. Jaden can throw dimes out there, especially running around. Did you see
that one on the run when he was getting hit?
To Scary Terry? Right side? Yeah. The one that was a touchdown?
That almost scored?
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, that one. I thought he scored for some reason. Yeah, dude's a dog. I hope he goes to the Commanders. I hope he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, because that's another thing that me and you are going to have to listen to Matt and Jordan, the other two members of the podcast that are Steelers fans, talk about.
Yeah.
And I like Devontae, and I don't want to hate Devontae. So, with that, I mean, the Steelers, they're in first. We'll see how then when the Cowboys go. My prediction, for this year is still the AFC North. Lost faith in the Browns. They're finishing last.
Absolutely. It's over. I mean, listen, hey, it's a long season, guys. We got 12 games left. Weather the storm. And listen, enjoy the cheap tickets, okay? We're back to home games being $70 to sit near the 50-yard line.
Are we?
No, not yet, but we will be. We will be. Enjoy it. Get a big group of friends, maybe some guys you podcast with, get some drinks, go tailgate at the Muni lot, get absolutely trashed. Forget who you're even playing. Forget Deshaun's out there. Enjoy it. We're back. We are so back.
I wanted
Embrace it, Derrick.
Oh, dude, I was a Cleveland Browns fan since I was growing up, so all I've known was losing until we had that Baker Mayfield run. So I'm just
we're back. Enjoy it.
And I'm not gonna lie, my high school football career pretty similar to the Browns, so I'm used to it. All right. So I think I'm okay with it. I know last episode I talked about the 0-16 Browns and then the current Browns through the first, 5 games. Now for the first 4 games last week, 5 games this week. Basically total offensive yards. This is basically the only thing I want to talk about. 1,600 for the 0-16 and 1,200 basically for the 1-4 Browns. 400 more yards through 5 games with Deshaun Kaiser, Isaiah Crowell, Corey Coleman.
Did you see my tweet today? Did you happen to see it? I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I thought it was someone else's tweet because of how good it was. If that makes you feel good. I thought it was someone else's tweet. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, whoever this is isn't wrong. It's Deshaun Kaiser out there right now. Well, actually,
is there a way for you to insert that so the people can see what we're referencing here?
Yeah, I'll put it in there. That's our Twitter. That's our Twitter, and normally run by Dontea. I sometimes log in and just tweet random shit, but I'll blame it on Dontea. Besides Matt, we know Matt doesn't do anything
at all.
So
you wouldn't watch this episode to see that we're saying it.
Neither will Jordan, so we could talk shit about Jordan. That 4-eyed motherfucker.
Dork.
Yeah.
Dork.
Anyways,
don't know ball.
He don't know ball. He's winning in the pick'ems, bro. That's the only thing he can hold on to.
He's also about to be 5-0 in our fantasy league too.
Yeah, I know. It's like, with that, it's always like the I don't want to say the dudes that don't know ball that get lucky, but it's sometimes the dudes that don't know ball that get lucky. Whoever's watching, you know what I'm saying. There's dudes in your fantasy league that do great, and you're like, how's this guy 5-0? This guy doesn't know shit. Or if they're doing pick'ems and they're getting all of them. Good. Fuck you, Jordan. Fuck you, Jordan. He ain't watching it. Listen, if we want our watch hours up, they need to be watching it, but we know they ain't watching it. So Dontea's frozen right now laughing. So that's how I feel too. Dontea, you're frozen. You got to reset your camera for me, and we'll
I'm
outro.
still frozen.
Oh, now you're good, but
I'm back.
Yeah, you're
a
little
laggy,
but I mean, we kind of covered everything that we need to this week. Just quick prediction for next week against the Eagles. Hit me. Hold it up the other way for the camera. That's us.
I think the offense still looks bad. I think the Eagles' defensive line blows through our offensive line, and Deshaun's running for his life again. And it just looks like the last 2 weeks. I don't think anything changes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think anything changes. I think we do lose to the Eagles, and I know how you a Browns supporter or fan if you don't think we have a chance to win every week. It's because I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Yep. And we suck. All right? And we're going to end it here. So in the comments, let us know, should the Browns consider fire Stefanski? Is Andrew Berry on the hot seat? Should we bench Deshaun for Jameis Winston? Are we going to win a damn game this year? Or are we going to go 1-16? Who the hell knows?
I hope we do.
So we get a good quarterback. I hope we do too. And then we're going to fuck that quarterback's life. So then I'm going to be in the cycle of depression over and over again as a Browns fan. So thanks everyone for watching. I assume that you guys feel the same way. And don't forget, like, subscribe. It means the world to us. Comment. I'll comment back. Dontea will comment back. Shit. Ask us questions for next week. We'll throw you in here. You can complain with us. Till next time.
Hey, by the way, though, if the Lions can figure it out, so can we.
Peace.